Thank you for staying with us on the Pulse. Time now for the sport. I'm Gary Al Smith. We are still in season review mode as we look at what's been topical. We'll be doing that for the next couple of days from various angles. At the moment, though, we'll look at the top scorers in the two major leagues in Europe. The most exciting and the most competitive. Take your pick. Let's begin in England. Mohamed Salah, as you know, carved a bit of history for himself, breaking the record. 32 goals. Harry Kane, too shy of Salah, getting 30 points. Sergio Aguero, despite not playing for a while, it is stand third on 21. Shows you how competitive it's been. Jamie Vardy, his goal, ensuring that he has 20 at the goal he got yesterday, and then the last two on 18. In studio with me, Hans Mensah Andor, to take a look at the figures. What story do they tell? First of all, about Mo Salah and Harry Kane, top two.
I don't know whether to go with Harry Kane first or with Mo Salah first, but let's do Mo Salah first because he's the top scorer in the Premier League this season. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. He first came into the Premier League joining Chelsea. It didn't work out, had to go back to the Italian Serie A. Found his feet. He was in good form from Fiorentina, 2 years Roma. Returns to the Premier League. I was very, very skeptical because he didn't work out the first time. But he's coming and shown that he's grown as a player, he's matured as a man, and you know the numbers tell the rest of the story. There were moments in the season where you expect him to go on a bad patch, but it never really happened. You know, the highest scorer in a 38-game season, as far as English football is concerned, phenomenal.
Phenomenal indeed. It's just one of the words that have been used to describe this man. On your screens, the Golden Boot winner, he was also going for the European version. So just to go through again, they were spread between two Manchester City players in Aguero and Sterling. There was a Man United player in Romelu Lukaku. Leicester were represented by Jamie Vardy, great stuff for the English World Cup hopes. And of course, Tottenham, Harry Kane, Liverpool on being represented at the top. So you saw a top 6 domination, and then top 6 plus Jamie Vardy.
Yeah. Again, for Mo Salah, you want to talk about Harry Kane. His numbers have been progressive over the last 3 seasons. I mean, we've seen a lot of English strikers come in 1 season, 2 seasons, and then they fade off. And so he's also done very, very well. There is talk of him joining Real Madrid at the end of the season. If he has a good FIFA World Cup, the speculations are going to increase as to whether he's going to join them or not. A lot of that is going to depend on Daniel Levy. I'm sure that if Harry Kane is going to move, it is going to be for a world record transfer figure. You come all the way down, you are looking at maybe Romelu Lukaku as well. Came in for big bucks to Manchester United. Also had a bad patch at Chelsea. He moves to Everton, and it was, you know, improvement all through. He comes to Manchester United. You look at the price tag and look at the number that he's registered this season, and he hasn't really done justice to it, but he hasn't also underperformed. If you look at the bigger picture, we expect that next season the number is going to be bigger than this season. Jamie Vardy burst onto the scene as a late bloomer, and so in the title-winning season of Leicester City, you expected that he was going to fall down the pecking order. We weren't going to see him on the radar, but he's been there and thereabout. 19 goals this season. Also, I mean, 20 goals. Okay, so you can't really point out a lot of negatives. He's done very, very well. 20 goals for the season for Jamie Vardy. For a late bloomer, you look at when he burst onto the scene and the fact that he's still able to bag in 20 goals a season.
So the league, as told by the numbers of the goal scorers, probably has a bearing on the defenses as well. But for some of those players, they've scored a handful of goals like you've seen. Their defenses have not complemented their efforts, but some of them have also had good defenses behind them. So just to finish up, we move on to Spain. So the top 5, with Romelu Lukaku, of course, being at par with 5 on Raheem. Top 6 with Raheem Sterling on 18 and 16. In Spain, there we go. Leo Messi on 34. No surprises there. Luis Suarez sandwiching Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, the dominant 2 for the last many years. And of course, there's Iago Aspas, former Liverpool, who is doing very well for himself. Antoine Griezmann and Atleti he had 19 there. So the top 5 in Spain.
Messi, no surprises there. I mean, you always expect him to hit the 30-goal mark every season. The real surprise for me is Cristiano Ronaldo. The fact that he was able to recover and bag 25 goals.
Yeah.
I mean, he started the season very poorly domestically, even though in Europe he was banging in the goals. But for him to have finished on the same level as Luis Suarez, it tells you the caliber of player he is. I don't know what it really says about Luis Suarez. I think that he's slowing down a bit. If you look at the numbers from the previous season, you realize that he's slowing down a bit. Iago Aspas, he follows in the footsteps of Diego Forlan. Didn't work out in the Premier League, makes a return to the La Liga, and he's on fire. And so, I mean, Messi, no real surprise. Ronaldo is a real surprise. Suarez, he seems to be on a decline. I'm particularly looking out for what the number is going to be for Suarez next season. Aspas doesn't work out in the Premier League, comes to the La Liga, is looking really good for him.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at the numbers as well, Griezmann, he doesn't do himself any favors in quotes, because these numbers are going to just keep the speculation that he's moving on, coming and coming and coming.
Yes, Barcelona has been mentioned, and again, for me, when players are linked to clubs, I begin to find out where they are really going to fit in, because at the moment, you have a front three for Barca of Moussa Dembele, Ousmane Dembele, I beg your pardon, Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez. If Griezmann joins Barcelona, who among these three is going to drop to the bench for him? Or are they going to change their system to accommodate Dembele, Messi, Suarez, and Griezmann? It will be very interesting to see.
It will be, indeed. So that's the story of the goal scorers of La Liga and the Premier League. And we'll be doing more analysis of these as the day goes on. Also, in the next 30 minutes or so, check myjoyonline.com, where we have an analysis of Jordan Ayew's season. Is he really that much of a bad player as many people want to make him to be? We look at the numbers and we decide that the answer is no. And that Jordan has been a victim of poor teams, not that he's a poor individual. Looking at the fact that he's moved from Marseille to Sochaux, Lorient, and then to Aston Villa and Swansea. He's never had good teams to play in. And even though he personally had good seasons, so you can check that on myjoyonline.com about 5 p.m. Hans, thank you very much for your time with the analysis. And we will be back at 8:30 with more.